Rachel and I'm here today to talk about the books that I want to read before the end of 2020. I haven't actually read too many books this year. I think I'm on about 45. I set my goal as 52. I just set that as a benchmark now every year. It kind of doesn't matter what I set it as, but I do like to have the Goodreads challenge. Like, I like going on it to be able to see all the books I've read in a year. So I just set it at 52 every year now anyway. I'm a few books under that, but I don't really mind. But I've picked a few books today that are books that I would really like to have read by the end of this year. So I thought I would have a quick chat with you about the ones that I'm hoping to get to. So jumping straight in with the first one, we have After the Silence by Louise O'Neill. If you've watched my channel for a while, you will know I'm a huge Louise O'Neill fan. I absolutely love her books. I've read Almost Love, which was her fourth book. The only book I've not read basically is her first book. I've read the one about the mermaids, I've read the one about like rape culture and stuff, and I've read Almost Love. And I can't remember what the other two are called. But one's A Little Mermaid Retelling. I can see the cover of it, but I can't remember the name. But anyway, huge Louise O'Neill fan, and I had this on pre-order for months once I found out it was coming out. I was so excited for it. It's kind of like a murder mystery type book. It's about this like small town kind of place where I think it's an island, so it can be completely separated. 10 years before this book starts, a girl was murdered and everyone thinks there is a certain family or couple that committed this murder, and we follow this couple. It's basically like, you know those like Netflix crime documentaries where they go into like a real life crime that happened? It's kind of like that, where they're going in to film them and talk to them about what happened that night. And yeah, I'm only 50 pages into this, but I'm really enjoying it so far. And me and my best friend are reading this as like a little book club because we can't see each other and everything's a bit crappy at the minute. So yeah, we're buddy reading this and having our own little book club so that we talk to each other and still, you know, communicate, and that's lovely. So that is just like an added bonus of reading this book, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Then the next book, I had no idea was coming. It just one day was a thing that was there, and it just like landed in my life, and I was like, how did I not know that this was coming? And I was just it hurt me in every good way possible. And it is Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass, which is a poetry collection from Lana del Rey. I love Lana del Rey. Like, it's a serious, like, affliction, to be honest. I just absolutely love her, and one of the things is that I've always been like, I love her music because her lyrics are like poetry, like they're just so beautiful. So the thought of her writing a poetry collection is just ideal and perfect, and I'm so excited to read it. She put out, it's not really a song, but it was put kind of to music, and it's like a dramatic reading of a poem type thing, which was LA Who Am I to Love You, which I was so in love with, and I was listening to it on Spotify. I definitely had it on a writing playlist, and now I can't find it on Spotify anywhere, and it's making me super sad, so I'm gonna have to start like coming out of Spotify to go on YouTube just to listen to that one song, poem, to then go back into Spotify, which is quite annoying. But I'm so excited for this. Like, I just think it's going to be everything that I want, and I love Lana Del Rey and anything that she does, so I'm super excited to read this. And it's published so beautifully. It's all like painted, and underneath it has the actual cover on it, which is really nice because normally underneath it's just like a like solid colour all the way around. So I really love how they've published this one. The next two books I'm going to mention are audiobooks, and they are Empire of Storms and Kingdom of Ash. So I've read Empire of Storms before. I listened to it on audiobook, and then I went to listen to the one that's like in the middle of 5 and 6 that's about Kale, and it kind of just follows him, and it's kind of a novella but kind of crucial to the plot, and I hated it. I got halfway through it and I could not make myself get any further. Like, I really hated reading it, and I left it so long because I didn't want to read it that I couldn't remember what happened. So over the last few weeks I've been re-listening to the audiobooks of all of the Throne of Glass series, just because YA audiobooks are the best thing for me to listen to when I'm at work because I don't have to focus too much on them. So they're a really perfect thing to read. I am up to Empire of Storms now. That's the next one I've got to read, which I have read before, and then I'm just going to go straight on to Kingdom of Ash and ignore the random book in the middle because I just don't want to read it. Never read Kingdom of Ash before. Kingdom of Ash, the audiobook, is like 35 hours or something insane like that. But I'm super excited for that one. And then the other audiobook that I have that I'm currently reading is City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. It's the last book in the Mortal Instruments series, and I never read them when I was a teenager. I'm like the only person who didn't do that. I've been slowly reading them over the last like 5 years. And again, really good books for me to read while I'm at work. So that's what I'm listening to at the moment. Very chill. I don't have to like give over too much of my concentration because they're not like my favourite books ever. They're just like a 3-star to me. So they're a really good book for me to just have on in the background to listen to. So definitely going to be reading all of them while I'm in work. Then I have some graphic novels that I'm hoping to read. So the first two are both by the same author, which is Raina Telgemeier. So I have Drama and Ghosts. These are fictional works by Raina Telgemeier. So far I have only read her non-fiction stuff, but I've really enjoyed it, and I didn't think I would enjoy them as much as I did. They're like graphic novels that are aimed at middle grade. I wouldn't even say teen, I'd just say like a middle grade age group. But they're actually really, really good. I really enjoyed them a lot more than I thought I would. I read Smile, Sisters, and Guts. I think they're the only 3 that I read. And yeah, then these ones are fictional ones. So I'm really excited to pick up some of her fiction. I did start reading this one, but it was back in the summer, and I just don't read a lot in the summer. I don't know what it is. The minute it hits autumn, I'm like, yes, let's get all the reading. Let's make a video, let's do some writing. But summer, like, I just can't do anything in the summer. It's just too hot. I can't look at anything. I just lie around hating my life and wishing it was colder. Sounds so depressing. But now I'm excited for them again. So I'm hoping to read both of these. I'm sure they'll be really quick reads because all of her other books have been. And I also need to return these to the school that I work at because, yeah, they're from the library at school. So need to not be keeping these for too long. And then the other graphic novel I have for this video is Stepping Stones by Knighsley. This, oh my god, was such a pain. This is about a girl called Jen who didn't want to leave the city, but her parents moved to a farm with, well, it wasn't her parents, it's a mum and her new boyfriend, and she's had to move with them. She doesn't want to get 2 new sisters, so I'm assuming whoever her mum's got with has already got children, and it's kind of about them living together in this new situation. The thing with this was that I wanted this book for ages. So it was back when I read the Knighsley autobiographies about her wedding and about her having kids. And I was like, oh my god, love these. I'll look up and see if Knighsley's got any new books coming out. And she had this one listed as coming out in May 2020, I think it was. So I was like, oh, awesome, I'll get that on pre-order. Pre-ordered it, and it just kept getting pushed back all the time, and it took ages. And I think I ended up getting it around when I got After the Silence, which I pre-ordered, and it came out when it was supposed to come out, and I know I pre-ordered that for September. So this was like super late, and I know obviously the whole situation makes sense, but I was just like waiting and waiting and waiting for it. I wanted it so much, which, I mean, I wanted it so much, but I've still not read it, as is the usual thing. But I am super, super excited for this. I love graphic novels by Knighsley, so I'm really excited for this and hoping to read it by the end of the year. The next book I have to mention is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. So I got this for my birthday recently, and I've wanted to read it for quite a while. Obviously, I've seen that the Netflix show came out, and I did want to watch the Netflix show. But I read We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson, and it is one of my favourite classics. I absolutely love that book. So I was kind of like, well, I'd rather read the book of The Haunting of Hill House before I watch the show, because I know that I really, really love Shirley Jackson books already, and I love her writing style. So I was like, I'm not going to watch it. And then this Halloween, my girlfriend has been really pushing for us to watch The Haunting of Hill House because she wants to watch the second one, The Blind Manor. And I was like, yeah, of course, I'm going to read it. So I got it for my birthday, which to be fair was only like a month ago now. I've not had that much time to read it, really. But I kept saying I'd read it. And then the other day I was reading that After the Silence, and she was like, why are you not reading The Haunting of Hill House? You said you'd read it so we could watch it. And I was like, I know, but me and my best friend have a book club now, so I'm reading a book with her and I'm not reading The Haunting of Hill House. And yeah, she's just very angry about it, so bad girlfriend over here. But I am still going to read this, and I am hoping to read it for the end of the year, because I think I will love it. I love Shirley Jackson. And I did start this actually, and I was really loving the way that it was written as well. I only got 12 pages in, which isn't a great start, but I remember that I was like, oh, this is fun, I'm enjoying this. So I definitely will read it. It's about a group of people that go to live in this house that is said to be thought to be haunted, or thought to have some activity around it, and they're gonna like investigate what's going on. They were inviting people in the bit that I read at the beginning. So yeah, definitely going to read this, and excited to read it, but you know, it's getting me into trouble anyway. And then I have 3 more books. So the first one is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. Really wanted to read this one for a while, and I got it from my, you know, like the Borrow Box library overdrive system thing from my local library. It just came through the other day, so I'm really excited to read this. I'm probably going to listen to the audiobook after I've finished listening to City of Heavenly Fire. And this is about Liz, who's always believed she's too black, too poor, too awkward to shine. She planned an escape route from her town via an uber elite college, but has no money to get there, and they give scholarships to the prom king and the prom queen, so she wants to become prom queen to be able to get this scholarship. And the only thing that makes it halfway bearable is the new girl in school, Mac, but Mac is also running for queen, and yeah, I'm guessing they're gonna fall in love, which sounds cute. It's like a cutesy contemporary romance type book, so really excited for this one. And then other than that, I have 2 books that I've mentioned before, so I'm not going to mention at any length, but they are The Virgin Suicides and The Flat Share. I was reading The Flat Share. It's so weird. This is like such a readable book and a really fun book, and I was really enjoying it, but again, summer happened and I stopped reading, so I randomly put it down in the middle, but I am actually really enjoying it. I am up to page 229, so I have read quite a bit of it, and I do want to finish it. Like I said, really enjoying it, but yeah, just need to get back into that one. So definitely want to get back to that and finish it before the end of the year. And then we have The Virgin Suicides, which I've been reading for ages, and when I get into it, I end up reading like 60 pages in a sitting, which is quite a lot for me. The most I normally read in a sitting of like a proper like book like this is like 30 pages. I don't normally read more than that in a sitting unless it's like an audiobook or a graphic novel. But whenever I read this, I ended up reading loads at once because I'd get really hooked by it. But then the minute I put it down for so long. I do it every single time. I'm hoping to get back to this one and finish it before the end of the year. Yeah, they're the books that I'm hoping to get to finishing. I don't think it's too exhaustive a list because there's quite a few audiobooks on there. There's 3 graphic novels. Poetry doesn't take that long to read. And like these 2 I've already read half of. I've read quite a bit of After the Silence. So yeah, I don't think it's an impossible task. I'll probably manage it, but we'll see. Who knows? I always say that I'm going to do these things and I never end up actually doing them, so who knows? But yes, thank you very much for watching. If you've read any of these books and want to talk to me about them, please do in the comments down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!